right, welcome back to Ironsworn. When last we left, um, yeah, Ajla and Jurek were having a conversation, and then it turned into Iron Priests. So we'll see where we go from here. However, before we get into that, the present, then let's take a look into the past, as Jurek remembers something.
Yeah, I think we flash back to a slightly younger Jurek and Tarvik and a few other members of the warband who are have basically ambushed a camp with a little scouting patrol of some enemies of theirs. They're outnumbered a little bit, but because they had the advantage of surprise, they had actually managed to make pretty short work of this camp of warriors. And by the end of this, there are a number of corpses lying around this grove in the forest. The remains of the fire and the cook pot they had, and two remaining warriors. One of them is an older and more senior one who's kind of sitting down with his hands bound behind him by the fire. And the other one is a younger one who is being held at sword point by Jurek. The younger one looks terrified. The older one looks more just resigned. And Tarvik and one or two of the others are asking him some questions about, where's their main force? What were they scouting out? What's the troop movement situation? Those kind of things. And the older warrior is kind of refusing to offer any answers. And as Jurek is holding this younger one at blade point, they're establishing that the older one is claiming that, they don't tell us anything. We're just a scouting party. We don't know what's going on. And it gets to the point where, it's evident that there's not going to be any more information coming out of these prisoners. So one of Jurek and Tarvik's men just takes a spear and runs it through the older warrior. And at that point, the younger one is, genuinely looking absolutely terrified and starts to plead for his life. And Jurek turns to him and just says, "Well, sorry about this, lad, but we can't have you going and telling anyone where we are." And he pulls his sword back, ready to thrust it. But Tarvik catches his arm and says, "No, Jurek, lad's not but 15 or 16. Come on, we let him go." Jurek looks at him kind of sternly, says, "This will come back to us. This will haunt us." But the last thing we see is the younger warrior scrambling off through the woods. And I guess at that point, we come back to the present day.
I think as the youngish warrior scrambles off into the woods, I think he takes a little look back over his shoulder, looking at you, looking at Tavik and the rest of them, and match cut to the present where he's on his horse, given the order to take them, and looking over his shoulder. But this is not a scared look anymore. This is a look of absolute hatred for one that he remembers, and remembers all too well from that past encounter. But as the Iron Priests move in to surround us and follow their leader's orders, Ajla pipes up from her seat on her horse in a voice that I don't think you've heard before, Jurek, at least in this time that you've spent together. And she says, she calls out to all of them, actually, "I claim bardic immunity. Bardic passage. For me and my companion." And at this, the young warrior turns around, spurs his horse to face us, and looks directly at Ajla and says, "How dare you claim this? This does not apply to anyone but you. This only works for you if you dare use it. This man has much to answer for." And Ajla keeps a seat on her horse. "I can claim this for anyone I choose, including companions, for myself, to have safe passage among these lands. This has been so writ, as well as foretold, carried through for all of the newsbringers, the story weavers. You know the tradition as well as I do, and we don't know your name. He comes closer, and he brings his horse almost nose to nose with ours. "Prove it. Tell a story." And she does. She tells the beginning story of how the first bards, the first story weavers, came across the land to speak of the magic, speak of the warriors that had to come before to help protect us, to be able to come here, and then to bring the news and stories of old to pass down through the generations. And as she's doing this, without even realizing that they're doing it, the other priests start to come closer, but not in a pincer movement to capture, but more as almost an attention, as if they're responding from something more visceral than their leader's command, more primal than a call to battle. Something deep within them that calls from their faith in stories. And before they know it, the leader of this band, of this group of Iron Priests, is begrudgingly listening. What are you doing at this moment, Jurek? As she tells the story.
Jurek has standing with his hand on the hilt of his sword, waiting to see if they're going to accept what she's trying to convince them of.
This would be, she's winding down in her story, and I think she's trying to compel them to,
I think so.
if not let us go, but to stay their distance, at least let us pass through to the next waypoint or something. So we'll see. All right, when you attempt to persuade someone to do something, envision your approach and roll. Definitely charm, pacify, barter, or convince. She's not threatening or inciting or lying or swindling. Not at this point, anyway. All right, so... Oh boy. Okay, that is a plus heart. 8 versus an 8 and a 5. So weak hit. Weak hit.
So they're going to demand something in return, I think.
Yes. So they'll do what you want or share what they know. Take +1 momentum. So, and I can't. Shit. Of course.
Oh, you're at 10 momentum.
I'm at 10 momentum. Damn. I guess
Well,
I could burn
it.
Yeah.
You could burn it to make it a strong hit.
Make it a strong hit. Okay. So I will burn it down to 2 and then add 1. Okay. So strong hit. They'll do what you want or share what they know. Take +1 momentum. If you use this exchange to gather information, make that move now and add +1. Ooh, I don't know if we want to gather information. We just want them to leave us alone for now, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, we just want them to leave us alone.
Yeah. So I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to be like, maybe some of his compatriots are looking at him like, you know, this is the tradition, this is the thing that we do. I mean, regardless of, you know, differing faith or whatever, this is, you know, something that she can call. And he's, you know, irritated as hell that he's got to do this, but he concedes, and then he will kind of indicate to the rest of them that they should kind of move on. But because really they have no reason to detain us anyway, so the leader, of course, will go last. And we're facing one direction, and I think they're heading in the opposite direction. But as he moves past you, Jurek, I think he's going to pause a little bit, so you're almost knee to knee. He's facing the opposite direction, and he's just going to lean towards you and say, "You may think I don't have a long memory, but I do. This is not over, Hawk. Remember the name, Somshiyr. It will come back to haunt you, especially when you're alone." And he moves on.
I think Jurek looks at him as he's about to leave and says, "You may think I have a long memory, but whatever I did, I don't remember you at all."
Even worse. God. Oh, God. Ajla waits until they move along, and you see her visibly collapse on her horse. I wasn't sure that was gonna work. Oh, it's an old tradition, and I wasn't sure they were gonna remember it. Oh.
It's a useful trick to have up your sleeve.
I mean, they didn't have any real reason to detain us, but it sounded like he had something against you, Jurek. What? What was that
It
about?
did. Ajla, I don't know. I was a warrior for a long time. I hurt a lot of people. Maybe he was someone's son, someone's husband. I really couldn't say.
I guess this is part of that bettering yourself, I suppose. I mean, I'm glad you didn't try to move in or anything like that while I was trying to parlay or, you know, call upon bardic passage. So, small victory?
Hmm.
Would you have, I don't know, retaliated?
Well, I wasn't going to let him run me through without trying to defend myself.
I understand that. I mean, I'm just glad you didn't act without letting me try and step in. So,
Well, I'm glad you did.
I will say, though, I'd be worried if I hadn't remembered and the sword had tried to determine what would happen next. I mean, after you were in the void and I talked with Vess, I think I can hear her a little bit more now, even while I'm awake. I mean, I didn't try to talk with the sword. I mean, I didn't want to. I mean, we were so soon after Rhyme Run. I didn't want to try. I mean, I might later, but not right now. But I know I hear her a little bit more now, even if I don't see her.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I mean, you say that she would walk around with my body, I guess, at night?
Aye.
I mean, I'm hoping she doesn't get that much control during the day. I'm hoping it doesn't become a situation where we have to save each other.
Let's hope not. Well, what next?
Well, you know the way to this winter quarters of the warband?
Aye. I think it's best we put some distance between us and those Iron Priests. Who knows if they'll change their mind?
Okay, good idea.
Do we have a journey track set up for this?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
I mean, we like had
Oh
the
no, we
vow
did.
thing.
Whitecairn, we made it a
Uh,
formidable.
yes, yes. I mean,
We have not
yeah.
made any progress yet, but
No. I mean, is this like where we would do the roll and try to see like where
yeah, I
we're
think we
at?
can
Okay.
undertake a journey.
Yes. I would say, hold on. I mean, you should definitely do the roll because I don't think you got to roll at all last time.
Oh, that's okay. Undertake a journey. So we are going to roll plus wits, I think. Yeah, I guess it really has to be with Jurek's wits, doesn't it? Since he's,
He
in
knows the
terms
way.
of fictional positioning, he's the one leading the way. It would
Exactly.
be a bit. And he does not have a bond with the place we're setting off from. So this is just going to be a +1, which is not ideal. Let's see how this goes.
Okay.
That is a 3 versus a 2 and a 10. So a weak hit.
Okay.
On undertake a journey. You reach a waypoint and mark progress, but suffer -1 supply. Oh, well, that's not too bad. So we
Okay. We at
on
par?
a so that's 1 full progress on a formidable journey. So I guess that looks like yeah, we kind of spend a day moving off along. I'm trying to find we had a map here that I kind of had vaguely in mind for the journey, but we're
Was it the
basically
monster head?
traveling. Yeah, we're kind of traveling from the Havens, which is the most settled and kind of developed region of the Ironlands,
Okay.
where I think we've been up until now, toward the towards the hinterlands, which is kind of some foothills and forested areas to the north that are that lead up towards the much more significant mountains further on, but we're not going that far. But it's into some hillier, more sparsely populated terrain. Let's see what the rule book has to say about what that terrain is like, because
Okay.
sometimes that description is quite interesting. Excuse me. Hinterlands, dense forests nestled against rugged terrain, hunter camps and remote settlements. Birdsong interspersed with sudden unsettling stillness. Ironlanders foraging and hunting game. Hungry beasts stalking. Varu bands howling their war song. So, but we're not that far yet, but that's where we're heading to. So yeah, I guess we kind of travel at this point over. We're steering clear of the roads, which is
Okay.
why we're not why we're actually making a journey roll in the first place. So, traveling by navigation as opposed to following established routes.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think we're mostly moving through farmland, light woods, small, low rolling hills, that kind of thing. It's pleasant enough.
Would you say that we stop off at a waypoint or like steading or something like that before we get to the
Oh yeah, I think.
rolling hills?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, should we roll and see what this waypoint is? You know, me and a random
Yeah.
table. I can't resist a random table.
I know you can't, so please do.
Let's see what this is.
You get to catch up on all that rolling you didn't get to do last time.
Okay, we have a location oracle here. Let's see. That is a 14, which is a bridge. So yeah, what season are we in at the moment? We're kind of in.
I thought we were like in kind of like getting into the frigid part of fall because we
Right.
need
Okay. So
cloaks and
yeah. So it's probably too early in the year for there to be to be ice in the river just yet, but maybe the river's a little swollen by rainfall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, we're still in the haven, so even a nice sturdy stone bridge. And yeah, I think we see that, and Jurek will say, well, we need to cross the river, so we need to rejoin the road, usually
Should
on the
we?
bridge. But perhaps this is a good place to camp out for the night. But I think we stay clear of the road. Somewhere we can overlook it.
Okay. Um,
And maybe no fire.
as usual.
Don't want to draw any attention.
Sure.
But we have some rations with us, some dried bread and dried meat and so on. And we're eating our way through that, I guess, which is why we lose a supply.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at some point we're gonna need to stop in some, if not large town. I understand, but at least some place where maybe they'll have a market for stories. In which case, it's like I can earn us some coin that way. I'm, I'm not saying that I'm spoiled. No, I'm used to being out in the open as needed, but it would be nice to be able to, again, having something fresh every once in a while would be great.
It would make sense to stock up as well.
Yes.
The hunting might be good, but we're not going to get fresh fruits
No.
where we're going.
Well, I mean, there's short bows on the back of the horses, but I mean, I think I can hit something with a bow. Maybe. It's been a while. I try to avoid it when I can.
I'm no expert myself. That was more Tavik's skill set. Aye, if we reach a settlement, you're right. We should stop. We've still a way to go before we're out of the Hagans just yet, so chances are we'll see one.
Okay. But I'm okay if we want to forage tonight and camp out.
Okay, so are we going to make a
Make camp. We
main
should.
camp?
Yeah. It's kind of
Yeah, I
been a
don't
while.
think.
We haven't done it in a while, so
Yeah,
we
let's do
should.
it. You want to roll this one? So we're going to roll
So
plus supply,
okay, so it's
which is
4.
plus
Right.
4.
Give me a second. Ah, 5 versus a 4 and a 9. Weak hit again. What does it say?
That's okay.
Weak hit. Choose one. Okay. Let's see what I'm missing, because
I think we can choose one each, right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I think
I think.
yeah. Uricle's kind of spend the evening, stretching out, working out some of those bruises he still has from the beating he took at Gilrickin's hands.
Yeah.
So he's going to take the +1 health,
Yeah.
which brings him back up to full health.
I'm gonna say I have to figure out how this works for Ajla not taking any hits, but I mean, Vess definitely did.
Yeah, right,
So I'm
right.
raising
Yeah,
hers. um,
yeah, that's a
that's a tricky one.
tricky thing to know how to handle it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I'm. Hmm. Because do I call her like another companion, or do I say it's like no, you both have some problems? I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, we should figure that out because it's almost like they could share a spirit, share a health track and have
Yeah,
separate spirit tracks or something like that.
yeah. I'm gonna say that is true because of the consciousness being different, but the health
Hmm.
definitely should be the same. So
Feels like it. Yeah.
yeah, she's only gonna get like one health back. So across the board for both, it's gonna be 3 out of 5. So
Oh, was
I mean, Vess was
Vess was down
down.
to two.
She took
Okay. Yeah.
she took poison and the
That's
the
right. The poison.
Atame.
Yes.
Yeah, bitch. Yep. So only three out of 5. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, great. No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, like, we'll just roll with it. It's fine. Um, yeah. Okay. So, are we saying that this is going to be just a few hours? Like, I mean, is this an overnight? Because,
Yeah, I think this is overnight, right?
yeah.
Because we don't want to be. I think it makes sense to travel by the day, given
Mm-hmm.
that we're we don't want to be, lead using artificial light to travel at night and potentially attracting attention to ourselves. In the day, we can kind of pass ourselves off as travelers, but we steer clear of the roads just for the purposes of just not seeking out trouble.
Exactly.
But we're not trying to hide our existence so much as just, avoid traffic
Mm-hmm.
where we potentially may run into someone who recognizes us if we're unlucky.
Right. So, I'm thinking that when Ajla takes some rest, I'm thinking that that is when Bess is going to come out and try to use her herbalist path
Hmm.
to try to gain more health. Um, let's see. Yeah,
Maybe she can do some foraging or,
yeah.
yeah,
So,
in the night.
that's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, I mean, if you're taking first watch, then of course, like, Aja goes to sleep, but then, Bess gets up. I don't know if you're up in the trees or if you're, like, kind of just by her, in
Yeah,
which
I
case
think
you'll
maybe
see her get up.
we're in a copse of trees on top of a low hill
Mm-hmm.
overlooking this bridge that we came to. And
Okay.
I think, yeah, Jurek is just kind of sitting with his back to a tree,
Mm-hmm.
keeping an eye over the road.
Yeah. And then Ajla was partially hidden by the tree and the brush up top. And you see her go to sleep, but then, of course, a few minutes later, she proceeds to get up and. Oh, that bitch. Ugh. And then she puts a hand over where she got stabbed by Kalita. Should have taken care of this before leaving that tower. Ugh. Greetings to you, Jurek. I hope you're not too worse for wear from being in the void.
Thanks to Ajla, and I suppose to you. I seem to
Yes,
have come out none the worse for wear.
I wish I could say the same. Ugh. Ugh, that damn sorceress. Poisoned and stabbed. I guess I'm lucky that this Ajla is, quite hardy. But the least to be expected, being of my kin.
she's tough enough, I suppose. But just remember whose skin it is you're walking around in before you go jumping in front of any blades.
Perhaps that's good advice. As I get used to being in this skin, as you say. And she starts to look around and tries to see what kind of plants are up on this hill. And, I vaguely remember, I think there were some bandages or something packed to cover wounds, if I recall. And then she'll go into rummage through the pack and pull out some of the linens or bandages and then start to lift up the tunic and then try to bandage where she got stabbed. Because I think Ajla had done something while you were on your way back in Rhyme Run, but like not the greatest job. I mean, just because normally she would be in a town to get something like that fixed or what have you, but didn't quite have a chance. And so Bess is kind of grumbling while she's doing it. It's like, ugh. Still feeling that stab. Ugh. And she's trying to make it around, I guess, her middle, like from where she got hit, but it's a bit difficult. And then she looks over at you. I'm not trying to feel anything about this. This is purely to get this done. But can I have you come over here and fix this bandage? I'm afraid she'll start bleeding again if I don't get it set.
Yeah, Jurek, I think without any comment, just stands up and comes over.
And she's got to lift the tunic to try to get at the area, but, you know, obviously you can see where the wound is. I mean, you know.
Because she made like a poultice or something from the...
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, she tried
herbs,
to
yeah.
stuff some of those herbs and things that she saw back at the tower into this to help clean it out and kind of, like, cover it up. But, I mean, like, some of those obviously have fallen off.
So we could even justify a heal roll here.
That's what
or
I'm
is this
thinking.
something to do with your... do you have some ability to do with that on your...
Well, the herbalist
herbalist?
has the heal, yeah. Like, you know, she's got some stuff that she
Yeah, I
saved
see it
in the
now.
pack. And then one supply, yes, thank goodness. Choose one. So add +2. Now, when they say add +2, to what? That's the
To the
thing.
roll you make for the heal.
Okay.
So to your dice.
Okay, hold on.
To your action die.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And I think, yeah, since
Whichever's
Jurek is
lower.
helping here,
Yeah.
aid your ally.
Okay. Well, I
You
mean,
secure an advantage in direct support of an ally and score a hit. They instead of you can take the benefits of the move. Yeah, I don't think that really applies in this situation. But
okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I can add +2 to the hit, I mean, to the roll, or on a hit, I can take or give an additional +1 health. So,
What does heal do? On a strong hit, you would get +2.
yeah.
Oh, on a weak hit, you can take up to +2, but you'd lose some momentum in order to, or supply in order to do it.
Okay. You know what? I'll just add +2 because it's like, you know, I just need the +2 to get back up to full. All right. So, +2.
So you're rolling plus wits +2.
Okay. Plus
Which is
wits.
+4 total.
Yeah. Okay. Great. The French, man. Okay. right. That is a 6 versus. What Jesus. Oh, no. That's a 10. Oh, God. A 10 versus a 10 and a 6.
Oh boy, so weak hit then.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Okay.
okay. On a weak
Okay.
hit,
Still get up to full health now, but we have to
yeah,
suffer
you
suffer one supply or momentum.
for
Uh,
each. Oh, but you. Oh no, that's not.
heal. I was doing a heal.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Do you? I'm just. So you can do minus.
You must
So you can
suffer
take
one.
-1 momentum and take +2 health. Is that what I'm reading there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
It's
back
not
up to.
like one momentum per health that you take.
No, God. Can you imagine? That'd be horrible.
Well, there are some moves that work that way.
Ugh.
I think the endure harm move works like that. If you get
That
stunned
makes
down.
sense. That makes sense to me. But for a heal, I mean, are you kidding me? um. So yeah. So she's back up to full, and
You taking momentum or harm or supply?
uh,
Uh,
that affects both of us. So
yeah, supply's a shared thing.
I'm happy to take the hit on momentum. I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
Hopefully it just keeps building up again. All right. And then as you're finishing bandaging her up and such, thank you for helping without comment.
I don't know what comment you'd expect me to make. I've bandaged enough wounds in my time.
For other warriors,
Aye.
for female warriors,
Aye.
all of the interesting things I learn about you, Jurek. I wasn't sure whether Ajla was your type.
It's not Ajla I'm speaking to at the moment, though, is it?
No, no. But, I mean, if you're going to be firm about whose form that you're dealing with, then I suppose we should be talking about Ajla. I'm just along for the ride. For now.
For now.
What do you intend on doing, Jurek? About, well, coming along this journey. Continuing to accompany Ajla on this quest?
I've never been much of a one for laying plans. I reckon I'll see where the wind blows me.
So this is about going with whatever happens. You don't have a certain place to go or anyone to see. Is that it? Or do you? Why are we going to Whitecairn?
I have some old friends there. And it seems as good a place as any to ride out the winter. Stay out of the way of any iron priests or anyone else who might be looking for that blade.
Well, maybe it's the people looking for the blade that you want to be with, or need to find. Maybe they'll have a better use for it than you will.
And how they're going to take you away from Ajla so that they can put it to use.
Maybe they don't need to take it away from Ajla. Maybe Ajla will need to go to them. Do you think of that?
Aye, but I'm not going to sit and watch them put her to use. If she wants nothing to do with them, then that's her business. And I'll see that she stays out of their way.
Interesting. You would think to be her guard, then. Truly. Huh. Very interesting.
It's a simple enough thing. Doesn't strike me as that interesting.
When I was alive, there was no one to save me. They wanted... What did they want? They admired me. They admired and wanted what I could do for them. But in the end, it all became something about using what I was and who I was.
So you know what I'm talking about then.
I do.
You wouldn't want to be used. And I don't think Ajla wants to be used.
True. You're not as simple as you make yourself out to be, Jurek. But the intention is to hide the blade in plain sight? Is that what you're going to do?
I think the less we bring the blade up in conversation, the better for everyone concerned.
So you're going to hide away among companions of the blade. With a blade that has history. Very interesting.
There's a lot of blades in the Ironland. One looks much like another.
Oh no. When they made the blade that is me, and she doesn't say anything else. She just looks off in the distance and looks pensive. We are closer now, Jurek. I can talk to her, and then she seems to respond back, even when she is awake. That may be a
She
good
said so
thing.
much to me.
That may be a good thing. In case I need to help her. If something happens during the day, or when she's awake. She's still sworn to the blade by virtue of blood. The blood that flows through her veins as well as the blood spilled on it. I will let you get your rest now. And maybe we'll talk again soon.
It seems to be becoming a regular thing.
Thank you for bandaging me up.
That's what comrades in arms do for one another.
Yes, it is. And she goes over to the spot where Ajla had originally laid down. And then she will do that sly thing of getting down on her elbows, looking at you the whole time, head on her hands, and then close her eyes to go to sleep. Do you take a full watch or do you wake up Ajla?
I think given that I'm taking some health from the camp move, it makes sense that narratively Jurek has to wake up Ajla.
That's fine. That's fine. And you do. And she's glad that you've that you've woken her up and there's nothing untoward happening.
Mm-hmm.
And she notices that there's like a tightness underneath her tunic, and then she's kind of like moving experimentally and saying, I know, I guess Bess had bandaged me up before. I guess she got up again and then decided to fix it, huh? It just feels tighter now. Like
She put some herbs in the wound. Seems to know what she's doing. I suppose that makes sense.
I guess that makes sense that she knows some things to be able to take care of herself when she was alive, and becoming excellent at the blade, I suppose.
You don't get very far as a warrior without knowing how to patch up with a hole or two.
I can only imagine. I usually just go around with my fists if I need to. Just a bunch of bruising for that. But I'm usually not trying to heal the people I'm brawling with. I will take my watch now and let you get some sleep. So.
Aye, just keep an eye on that road.
Okay.
If you see anything you don't like, give me a kick.
Well, hopefully I won't have to. But I'll watch. And she brings the sword from the ground. It's still sheathed. And she doesn't take it out of its sheath. She just kind of has it at the ready, so she's able to pull it out if need be. And she just sits and stares at the road while you lie down and get some rest.
Yeah, I think Jurek is good at just catching what sleep he can when he can. So he's one of those people who, as soon as his eyes are closed, he can be sleeping. So I guess dawn comes around.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we just move on.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing much we want to do here.
No. I mean, if it's just a bunch of, like, steadings or farmhouses or whatever
Mm,
around the area, but we're reasonable on supply. I mean, like, I wouldn't say that this is anything we have
yeah.
to worry about just yet.
Then
However,
again, if someone's built this bridge, there must be something useful close by.
I mean, you want to roll for it? That's fine.
Or
I
we
have
can.
I have some ideas for when we're out in the hills, but
Hmm.
I don't want to use anything just yet. So if you want to roll to see about making sure we're okay for another.
Yeah, or should we just do another? Yeah, let's do another segment of the journey, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, okay, we're not getting any bonuses here, so I think it's just my wits, which are not the best. Let's see. Oh dear.
Oh no.
That would be a 3 versus a 6 and an 8, which is a miss.
Ah, shit. Do you have? No, you don't have enough momentum.
I do not. Damn, I have 6 momentum.
Okay. So what was it again?
On a miss, on undertake a journey, you are
Yeah.
waylaid by a perilous event. Pay the price. Okay,
Sure. That's what makes it fun.
let's see what the dice have to say. 0-7. A personal community you care about is exposed to danger. Well, there's not a community I care about anywhere near here. So that feels like something is happening to Ajla.
Okay.
I wonder if the.
This is turning into like the worst escort mission ever, and I hate
Yeah, I'm just wondering
Ajla's
if,
from it.
like, the first thing that springs to mind is, that she's still fighting off this poison and the wound that Vass has bound up. So maybe it's as straightforward as, a miss doesn't have to be a catastrophic result. I think when misses start to build up on one another, then it makes sense to raise the stakes. But a single miss doesn't bring the sky down on your head.
Okay.
So maybe it's just that the delay is just that Ajla is in more pain than she thought, as this wound is kind of healing,
Yeah.
as the herbs are doing their work,
Yeah.
and she's not really able to move as far as we'd hoped.
Yeah. I mean, she'll probably start not wanting to make noises, but she will. It's like, Jurek, I think we're gonna need to stop off someplace with just more healing supplies or something. I mean, I don't I don't feel well. I don't like to admit pain, but this really, really hurts. And I need someone to take a look at this. I don't want it to get worse or when we're in the hinterlands and there's no one around. I don't think you know how to take care of that if it gets much worse, if it starts to fester. Can we see?
Right. Perhaps we best look for a settlement somewhere.
Okay.
Let you rest up. I don't think we're in any rush.
I know, but I know we're trying to avoid discovery.
Well, then we best be careful. So I feel like there's a bridge here
Okay.
and a road. A road is going to have something at both ends of it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's a gather information,
Okay. That
or
makes
even a
sense.
secure an advantage. I mean, it's not so much a question of whether there's anything at the end of the road. There must be something at the end of the road. So if we're trying to secure an
Search an
advantage,
area. Search an area makes sense,
mm,
which is gather information.
okay, yeah, okay, we could
That's
do that then.
wits. Wits.
Yeah,
Sorry.
All right. Well, let's see how it goes. That's even worse. That's a
Oh,
5 versus an 8 and a 9.
did, mm,
So that's a miss on the gather information. Your
which,
investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest.
oh,
Pay the
goody
price.
gumdrop. Huh. Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
go to pay the price and see what it says.
Yeah, or or just make the most obvious thing
Which is,
the case. I don't know.
I mean, unless
Is there
like
an obvious thing?
well, I mean, the most obvious thing is like, whatever we discover nearby, they don't mean us goodwill.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like it's maybe the thing nearby. What do the Iron Priests have in the way of, do they have their own settlements? Do they have kind of something equivalent to a monastery or a hermitage?
Right.
Maybe that's where the road is leading to. We get a few miles down this road and an iron pillar hoves into sight, and at the base of that pillar is a building
Yeah.
or a small group of buildings that is some kind of iron priest's outpost.
Yeah. That's pretty likely because I mean, like, where else would that kid have come from? You know?
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, and I feel like it's logical that they're operating out of the havens, right? They're not an invade. They're not kind of an outside force, right? So they're well established.
Yeah. I mean, they're not really roaming bands of iron priests. It's like they would have had to come from somewhere.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because they were in Rhyme Run, or yeah, in Rhyme Run. They were also in Carthus, so there's got to be places that they're nearby um, to be around and show the communities what they're doing. So, yeah. Do you need to take a break? I mean, we can.
Yeah, let's take 5, shall we? And then
Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
come back to that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I can't do math. 21. 21 mark.
Sounds good.
All right. All right. So, what do we think is the most likely?
I think,
Or,
well, I think as we just discussed, we travel up this road for a little way,
mm-hmm,
hoping that the road leads to a settlement of some kind.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, the first thing we see is this iron pillar, which rises above the landscape like something like a standing stone, but just made out of this dark ferrous ore, and clustered around the base of it, not all the way up to it, but close by, are just a handful of buildings with maybe a wooden palisade around them. Fairly simple looking settlement. I guess the question is it obvious to us the nature of this settlement as we approach it? Or are we just going to blunder into
Well, yeah, as you say, there's a wooden palisade around it. Usually, palisades are built up to keep things out. Um,
mm-hmm. But I think that would be not unusual in a settlement.
oh no, no, no! It's not unusual, but I mean, would we would we see the like the pillar above, towering above
Oh
the
yeah, I
palisade?
think I picture the pillar maybe being outside of that. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it is inside. But either way, I think it's taller, right? I imagine these pillars are, how big are they?
That's the question, because also too, what I picture is that they absorb light. They are
Mm,
not. That's not something that you can really discern a texture or a surface on because it's absorbing light, but not. I don't. I'm trying to remember if we established that it's heat absorbing or just light absorbing. Like whether we would feel it as cold to the touch or warm to the touch, depending on proximity. I can't imagine it would be very warm or very cold. It would just
mm,
be.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if, I mean, I'm sure we must have seen such pillars beforehand, right? We're both
Yeah.
old enough and well traveled enough that
Yes. But I think for whatever reason, like both, from our backgrounds or from in our travels, I mean, like, I don't think either one of us gets a good feeling by being near these things.
mm. Yeah, I think most nobody does, right? They're mysterious. The
Hmm.
Iron Priests claim to know what they're for or what they are, but most people, to most people, they're just mysterious artifacts, right?
Right. I mean, like, there wouldn't be something that you would have a settlement of regular people near, basically.
Mm.
This is strictly for these folks that are.
Yeah, interesting. So, yeah, a normal settlement wouldn't be built so close to it unless,
Mm-mm.
yeah,
Yeah. I
okay,
mean,
that makes sense. So, I think, yeah, maybe
kind of like
it's,
monastery like, I would say. But
yeah,
yeah. But
it's at least enough to make us cautious, right? That there's something at this iron pillar. So,
the reason I say that is because it's like, as we approach, it's not like it wouldn't be necessarily like we would be surprised unless the place that we were coming out of like had such towering trees or such canopy
mm,
that you couldn't see anything until you got out of it. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah, yeah. I think it's more. I mean, let's the description of the havens is kind of rolling hills and rocky bluffs, pockets of dense wood, walled settlements, verdant heaths, wide rivers, long harsh winters. So yeah, it's kind of it's more open land than it's not super heavily forested, I don't think, but so it makes sense to me that I think we see this from a way off.
Yeah. I mean, we would try to avoid it, but
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, I think maybe we kind of rein up the horses as the settlement comes into view.
right.
And Jurek will say, well, I'm not sure I want to rely on those folks' hospitality because built that close to a pillar,
I know.
that's that's got to be the Iron Priests.
I don't want to go there either, but I need something. I need someone with a little bit more healing experience, I think, or even healing magic. I don't know what they have, to be honest. I've never actually interacted with an iron priest before, so I don't know what they do per se. I just know they give me a very uncomfortable feeling.
You and me both. I
I mean,
know that
I can try to press on. I mean,
it's your call, Ajla. If you feel like you need to help, let's go see if they'll give us some help.
maybe I can call upon Bardic Passage again. I mean, do you think that's where your acquaintance came from? So maybe he's not there?
Aye. Unless he doubled back past us through the night. It seems unlikely.
I hope for both our sakes that he's away from here. I think we're going to need to stop. I'm sorry.
I understand.
I just want to make sure this doesn't get worse.
Let's look, get a little closer and see what we can see.
Okay. And then as you get closer, I mean, like, you can see that there are guards of a sort.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the tower posts of the palisade, and maybe one on the ground. I don't know how close we get, but I mean, I think we do have to approach the gate of the palisade to be able to say what we're looking for. And
Yeah, I think Jurek is kind of, both of us are probably eyeing this up, just I'm trying to make a play for a secure and advantage here.
sure.
Because it says when you assess a situation,
Mm-hmm.
does that make sense that we're kind of,
Yeah.
now what I really don't want is another miss here.
If you do, I'm gonna be like
Three in a row, and I think we're in
deep doo doo.
We're in trouble. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it feels like with expertise, insider observation, which is plus wits.
Again.
Yeah. All right, let's see what happens.
Okay.
That's a 5 versus a 5 and a 4, which is a weak hit. Or I can burn momentum to get a strong hit.
Okay. Do you have enough?
I do. I have 6.
Okay.
Let's do that because we kind of need to turn our luck around here.
Okay.
So I'm going to burn momentum, turn that into a strong hit. So you gain advantage. Choose one. Take control. Make another move now, not a progress move, and add +1, or prepare to act and take +2 momentum. I feel like we turn this into a sojourn move, which is when you spend time in a community seeking assistance, which is what we're doing here.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's carry that +1. Was it?
Yes. Yes. Roll with heart.
Yeah, roll with heart. But I think maybe I hand that roll over to Ajla.
Okay. All right. So heart +3, and then +1 is +4. Okay. Yeah. I mean, she's going to be asking for it, and we. What was I going to say? And we don't necessarily have to roleplay this unless this comes out really weird. So.
Please tell me that's a strong hit.
Oh, God. 6 versus 6 and a 9.
Oh, dear. Well, it says, on a miss, you find no help here. Pay the price. So,
of course. Yep. Well, you know what? Again, it makes perfect sense. The Iron Priests are like bastards.
Right. Yeah. They're not. So I think the two of us kind of approach this palisade.
No succor here.
Right.
Oh.
And we'll kind of call out, my friend here needs some assistance. She took an injury. We're wondering if you have a healer among you, or just someone who can take a look while we rest. And the voice I guess the voice comes back from top of the palisade. Be on your way. We're not in the habit of taking in travelers here.
And Ajla will mutter from underneath her hood, "Why am I not surprised?"
Aye, perhaps we best do as they say.
Yeah. I think we feel as we move off and go further along, I think we feel eyes upon us. Not necessarily faces that we can see, but we feel that. We feel
Oh yeah, they're
watchers.
watching us until we're out of sight. Yeah,
Yeah.
we stick to the road until we're out of sight.
Hmm.
Actually, does the road carry on here, or does the road end here? What do you think the likely?
You know,
I want to roll some dice.
yeah, go ahead. Because, I mean, I feel like this is weird, right? Because why would they build a pillar? Or not build a pillar, but I mean, like, why would they build their palisade so close to a iron pillar, and then there's a road?
Mm.
What the purpose of that would be if they do not invite travelers? Or is this just for them and we didn't see the markers, or we didn't, you know, notice
So
the signs?
what do we think the likelihood of whether this is this the end of the road? Is that likely? 50-50?
Yeah.
All right. 14. No, this is not the end of the road.
Okay.
So that's good. Yeah. So I think Jurek will say we stick to the road until we're out of sight,
Okay.
and then move off.
It's what we've been trying to do.
I don't want to be followed.
Right. Right. If we're off the road, um, hopefully we will not founder the horses. I mean, that's the worst part about it. I mean, would you say that we're heading into the the hills right now, or we're going to be heading into more dense forest before we get to the hills
I think we can
and
play
then
that
the
any
foot of
way
the
you want to
mountains?
play it. Yeah.
The
I mean,
reason
we're at one progress on the progress on the progress track. So
I don't even want to know. I don't. I just
yeah, I feel like we're not far along our journey at this point.
I'm thinking that once we get past the watching eye feeling and then we get off the road, I feel like we pass into another heavy canopy of forest before we come out onto the rolling hills at the foot of the mountains and stuff. And what that means is that we go into these what look so gentle and so calm when you're just looking at them from afar. But when you get amongst them, they're like sharp angled hills that if you fall off, then you're going to be
Mm-hmm.
rolling for a while before you hit bottom. And then at the bottom are rocks and boulders. And then, you know, again, another hill upward and weird angles and just strange zigzags of landscape that seem to make sense and yet not at the same time. But again, boulders in the weirdest places and then rocks and rock formations amongst these green hills. It's very odd. Not sure if it's by proximity to the pillars or if it's just this is the way it is. I don't know what that's about. So I'm thinking we pick our way very carefully amongst this because again, we don't want the the horses to founder or trip or go tumbling down one of these hills. And I think after a little bit we come into what looks like a boulder field, just different sized rocks where head sized, child sized, possibly human sized, just scattered across this ground. Not as bad angular hills as we've been traveling through, but still. It's almost like we've hit a pocket valley of rock.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you make a roll here?
You want me to, given the way I've been doing that today?
I can't say that I've been doing great either, so.
True. This is true. Yeah. Yeah. What am I rolling here?
Um, let's see. For funsies, let's do gather information.
Which is always plus wits, right?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Do you mean that ironically?
5 versus 6 and 9. It's a miss. And I already burned all my momentum.
Right. Unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. This is getting funnier by the moment, I swear. This pay the price thing, man. Are you gonna roll on the table or you want me to?
Why don't you do it?
Okay. We'll see. This is just the D10s, right?
Yeah, it's just a percentile, yeah.
Okay. 22. Your action has an unintended effect. You're looking around. You're following a track. What?
Let's roll again.
Okay.
If that doesn't make any sense.
Right. 74. It is stressful. Well, duh, yes. Fabulous.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? That, Ajla's suffering stress given this wound and
Yeah.
that she's trying to press on.
Yep. Hold on. I definitely think that affects her. So that's spirit, right?
Yeah, so knock down, I guess just one is
Yeah.
good, and then make the, endure stress move.
Okay, and that is... There we go. Got it. Mental shock or despair. Suffer -1 spirit equal to your foe's rank. Blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Roll spirit or heart, whichever one is higher. So right now, I mean, would I have taken the -1 on the spirit before or...
Yeah, you do the -1 first, and then you roll
Perfect.
this
Okay.
move to kind of see how you handle that.
Okay, so it's equal, so it doesn't matter. Hold on.
What do you mean it's equal? What's equal?
My heart and my spirit. So 3.
Oh, is that how you do it? Suffer moves, endure stress.
Roll spirit or heart, whichever is higher.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I got you. Sorry. Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, so this is 9 versus a... Holy crap, a doodle fucking do. A 9 versus a 10 and a 10. What the flying fuck? I'm gonna say it.
Oh boy, that's bad. Yeah.
Suffer -1
That's
momentum.
a miss and a match, right? So
Hold on a second. So, okay. Now, can I go below? What happens if I go below my reset?
You can, yeah. That's fine. It basically means you can't. It just makes it harder for you to build back up to the point where you can burn momentum. You can go all the way down to -6 on the momentum track.
Fabulous. Okay. All right. I'm not at 0, so thank goodness. And I don't
Yeah,
have to roll in the following table. So, yeah.
yeah. So I guess that's just. But it's a match as well. So
Okay. Oh,
in
God.
theory, double tens. So
Yeah.
it's kind of extra
Okay.
extra tough.
It's kind of extra in your Apple Music library. You can ask me to play a radio station.
Sorry, Siri chimed in with an opinion there.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's an extra. Oh, it's just an extra bad twist of that. I think I don't know. Maybe
hmm
that's the point of like Ajla literally can't carry on at the moment,
Okay.
so
So,
we need to make camp.
I'm guessing so. I mean, unfortunately, that is the case because what else can we do at the moment
Yeah.
amongst these boulders? Or, hmm. I wonder if this is the time for what I was thinking.
If that's
Hmm.
a wild complication, it might
Oh, it
be.
is. Tis. So, I think at this point, for funsies, ugh, I will get it at one point to be able to find these things. Okay. Where are the moves for face something? What is.
Face danger.
Yeah.
100 venture moves.
Okay. There we go. No. Sorry.
No, it's all
Scrolling
good.
through and I'm like, oh, there it is. I'm just. Never mind. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So I think as we're trying to press onward, Ajla's unable to because, like, she's looking paler and paler, and she starts to slide a little bit off her horse, and she tells Jurek, I don't think I can. I need to. Let me come off the horse for a little bit. And then she comes off the horse, and then she's leaning on one of these bigger boulders. And then there is a child sized rock that comes flying towards her head. Speed, for sure. So
Yeah,
that's edge. The worst one. Even
of course.
better. This is great. I
This is why
love
we keep
setting myself up.
failing. We're always
Love
rolling with our
setting up
worst stats.
myself for failure. It's okay. It's okay because now that we're talking about it and now that we're doing it, it's okay. It's all right. It's how it. Mm, mm. Okay, 4 versus 8 and a 3. Okay,
Oh,
so
so we can. Okay.
all right, so
We
she
succeed but
succeeds
face a
to getting out of the
troublesome
way in
cost.
time, but a troublesome cost. Choose one. Delayed. Try to lose advantage. Face new danger. So tired or hurt, spirited or afraid, sacrifice resources. Okay, so mm, I think this is facing a new danger because suffer one momentum. My momentum is now at 0. Can I even go down to 0? It won't let me.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you can.
Okay, well, the counter won't let me, so I'm going to type
Oh,
it in.
yeah, yeah, you may have to.
All right, got it.
You're
Anyway,
supposed to be able to go down to -6 is the minimum.
it's going to be great. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, this is facing a danger because where the child-sized rock came from, which has pulverized itself against another rock very near Ajla's head. From out behind one of the boulders steps what looks like a massive form of... How to explain? It's humanoid, but it's very big. It is probably at least 2 heads higher than you are, Jurek. And it is massive. It is built like a wall with a head on it. Broad, muscular, with very thick fingers, and one arm is outstretched as if that's the arm that had thrown the rock, and the other hand has another rock ready to throw. And the face is kind of like saggy and jowly, with small eyes and a flat nose and this grin on its face. And it says in a very mumbly voice, "Let's play." And it looks like it's going to throw the rock
Oh, shit.
at you. Yeah. Face danger.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, Jurek just kind of calls out, "No." So maybe I'm trying to face danger with charm, loyalty, or courage doesn't really apply. Aggressive action, forceful defense, strength, and endurance.
That's the closest one, I think.
All right, good. That's my best stat. That's iron. That is an 8 versus a 2 and a 1. So that's a strong hit on the face danger. So I take +1 momentum.
Okay. And so you get out of the way. I mean, I think that this thing has thrown the rock, and it throws wide because you're able to get out of the way fast enough.
Or even, as I shout,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of throws wide because,
Yeah.
I put him off.
Right. So now, so how does this work? Because, I mean, Ajla's not going to be able to do much except for probably defensive moves, like getting the hell away if she can. I mean, she's not going to pull the sword. She's not going to do anything except clutch her side as needed, or whatever, and then it's you against this big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, how should we conduct this?
I mean, is it a fight? Is this combat? Is this... I guess it depends what I'm doing, right? I think...
Do you, how do you want to react to this?
I think Jurek will shout out, "No, stop." What's it doing? It's trying to throw another
It was
rock?
trying to throw the other rock, and it went wide because you shouted at it.
Yeah. So I think he just calls out, "Stop. We don't mean you any harm."
And it repeats itself as it's reaching for one of the other rocks, possibly a little bit bigger than the head-sized one, and says, "Let's play." But much more growly, much more mumbly.
"My friend here is hurt. We don't have time to play." I think I'm attempting a compel here.
Okay, good. Let's see if it works.
That's a 6 versus a 4 and a 7. Weak hit.
Okay.
I could take plus momentum, but they're going to ask something in return. Or stopping throwing rocks at my head.
Okay. So you, it will stop. It will stop throwing rocks, but it's going to look at you, Jurek, and say, "Let's wrestle." And we can take 5, so 801, whatever. Whenever you can be back.
Okay.
All right, so this thing has.
Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good. I think my headphones were trying to connect to my son's iPad, which he's using to do his music lesson, but I think it's okay now.
Okay. I mean, I hear his
No, but
music
I can't
lesson.
hear you again. What the hell?
Well, are you out of power? I mean, I'm fine.
But it says it's connected.
Okay. I mean, I hear me. Are you... Am I coming through on...
Hold on, let me put these things away.
Yay for editing. It's not live streaming. Yay. I can't hear you now. You're on mute. Talking, testing, testing, testing. You're on mute. You're muted. Testing, testing. Can you hear me anytime soon? Maybe? I can see you talking,
We're
but
good.
you're...
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we're good.
Okay, I can hear you talking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me just check.
Yes,
I'm just trying to check to see if my son's iPad is working, because I don't think he can hear what's
Oh dear. Now, mind you, I do hear the piano music, so I don't know if there's like a door you need to close or what have you. But
It's as closed as I can get it, I'm afraid. But
okay, no, that's fine. We'll deal. All right, so you got to deal with the thing, the giant. I don't know.
yeah, so if he's moving into wrestle, is he like moving toward me aggressively or wants to see if I'm complying?
I'm gonna say that he's gonna start off by. He looks like he was gonna throw a rock, but then
Mm-hmm.
at your request, he'll put it down, but then be
I think
like,
he asked in return
yeah,
because of the weak hit.
he's like he's kind of like arms like across his chest, and then go, let's wrestle. What do you do?
I presume he's like significantly bigger than me, even though he's or maybe the same size. I don't know how big are giants.
2 heads taller than you, at least.
Okay. All right. So he's not like it's not impossible I
And he's
could successfully.
broad.
Yeah, right.
He's
Yeah.
probably twice your width, at least. And Ajla's like looking at both of you from the ground and just like, Jurek, I don't think this is a good idea.
We're just passing through this area. We're not looking for any trouble. I don't want to fight you.
Not fight. Wrestle.
Shit. I don't want to wrestle either. Are you hungry?
What did you say?
Are you hungry?
Is that what you ask?
Yeah. We have some food we could share.
I think he'll consider it. I think he'll actually, like, in his folded arms, he's going to, he's gonna look up and kind of, like, stick his tongue out like he's thinking about it. And he goes, what kind of food?
Simple food, bread, some dried fruit, dried meat. I think at that point, yeah, Jurek is trying to rack his brain for anything he knows about what giants eat.
And he'll say, show me.
Jurek making kind of pacifying gestures, goes to the pack on his horse and yeah, takes out some of their supplies and just kind of shows a sample of what we have. See, just trail rations. You hungry?
I think he'll respond by nodding, and as he's nodding, he's reaching out for what you have. Are you going to give it to him, or are you going to...
Oh, I think so, yeah. It was, intended as a distraction, as a way to, yeah.
But are you going to give it to him, or are you going to put it on the ground?
I think Jurek will take some in his hand and hold it out to him for him to take.
Oh, do I do this to you or not?
Yeah, do it. It's all good.
I think this is a face danger because it's like if you reach out with the stuff, he's going to grab your arm.
All right, so this is a face changer with heart?
Yeah,
Courage, right?
yeah, I'm gonna say courage because that's pretty damn courageous holding
Yeah,
this out to a bigger creature.
God. 5 versus double 7.
Oh
Miss.
my god. Oh my god.
On
We're
a miss,
doing
you
great.
fail.
We're
Your
doing
progress
great.
is undermined by a traumatic or costly turn of events. Yeah, so
Oh,
okay.
I already know what's gonna happen. So, oh, Jesus Christ. As you're reaching out with this stuff, his big hand is reaching out as if to take it from your hand, which is so much smaller than his. And he grins at the last second and then takes your arm in one fist and pulls you in for a hug.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is that a crushing
I mean,
hug?
as he's pulling you in for this hug, he's like, "Nah, let's wrestle."
I think at this point it would be appropriate if Jurek took some stress
Okay. It's very stressful.
as the result of that move.
Yes.
So I'm going to say his spirit goes down to 3, and then
Okay.
he's going to endure stress. So endure stress. We roll plus spirit or plus heart. Spirit is still higher, so that's plus 3. That's a 6 versus a 3 and a 9, a weak hit. So he presses on.
Keep going. He's getting you into a position where he's going to like try to. Oh, God. These matches, man, they're killing me.
Okay, at that point, I guess how are we handling the wrestling if he's basically bringing it on me? Is that going to be a face danger or
Yeah, I would imagine so.
even a battle?
I mean, can you call it enter the fray? I guess you could, I suppose.
Yeah, or I was
it
it depends how much detail we want to get into here. I was thinking we could use the battle mechanic where it's just like the single roll to do the whole fight.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to overpower him, that's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like that
mean,
isn't even an option, right?
you can try. I don't know if it works. I don't know what your. I'm not looking at your stat right now. Hold on, give me a second. You could conceivably roll with Shadow if you want to
I
try
was
to
thinking with
trick him.
Shadow, yeah, where he's kind of going to try and use his size against him and trick him, trip him.
Okay. All right.
Use the terrain to advantage, right? Moving around the rocks, that kind of thing.
You can try, sure.
All right, let's do this. So
what are you trying to do specifically?
I'm trying to not get injured.
Yeah.
But force him without. I don't want to hurt him particularly.
Right.
I don't want him to. I think Jurek realizes that this giant is playing, but obviously with his size, he's as big, if not bigger than me.
Right.
And he could easily hurt me without meaning to. So I think Jurek's goal is to get through this to the point where he is satisfied that it's reached a conclusion, but without either of us getting seriously hurt.
Right.
That's kind of the goal. All right, let's see what we do here. So Shadow is +2. Do I have any? I'm just wondering if I have any, I haven't really looked at my assets recently to see if anything can turn the tide, burn momentum to improve a result in combat. Or, no, I've not got anything that's really going to help much here. So let's do this. Okay, that's a 5. It's a 6 and a 10. That's a
Holy
miss.
shit.
You
Oh
are
god.
defeated and the objective is lost. To you pay the price.
Oh my god. What this is
So this is harm, right? It's got to be
Yes.
harm.
Yes.
To me. So I'm just looking up like what a giant. A giant is extreme by default, but I think we can rank this one, bump this one down to a dangerous because not dangerous, a formidable because he's not an adult.
Right.
That's still going to be 3 harm for Jurek though.
Oh god.
So let's see how he copes with that, and then we can see what we make of that. So that bumps him down to 2 health.
Oof.
And then he's going to make a endure harm move. Rolling plus health or iron, whichever is higher. My iron is now higher, so 3. So that's a 9. Oh, God.
What?
That's a 9 versus a 9 and a 7. So that's a weak hit on the endure harm.
Oh god.
So let's just press on. So
Oh my god.
yeah, so I think what this looks like is that, Jurek is trying to kind of use his smaller size to his advantage, like staying low, getting behind rocks, Tom rolling out of the way, trying to make this giant trip over him or something. But he's too fast and too strong and too skilled even, and just overwhelms Jurek, because Jurek's not trying to hurt him. Definitely not using a weapon.
Right.
So I think Jurek is just kind of battered and bruised and, banged off rocks and crushed and yeah.
I think at this point, I mean, like from her position from the ground, I think Ajla's finally going to like wrestle up enough something to try to compel and say, wait, leave him be. Do you want a story? I can tell you a story. And we're gonna try to compel and pray this works. Oh Jesus!
You must be rolling better than I am today. I don't know.
All right. Definitely try to pacify. So heart.
Yeah, surplus heart.
I. Oh. Hmm. Okay, that's weak because it's 5 versus 7 and a 3. All right. As above, but
So
they asked for something in return.
Yeah, you can take your +1 momentum though.
Okay.
Oh, you can't because you've got 10 momentum. Hey, you could burn momentum and turn that into a strong hit.
No, because I have 0 momentum. You're reading the wrong thing.
Oh, you do. I'm reading the wrong thing. Yeah, yeah. I keep doing that, looking at the max instead of the.
Okay. Oh, ask something of Ajla in return. So they'll want a story, but what do they want? I think this thing will sit down. What time of day do you think this is, or do you think we're nearing nighttime again? Oh, you're on mute.
I don't know. I feel like we weren't. I mean, what have we done? We've traveled as far as the kind of Iron Priest Monastery.
Mm-hmm.
Then traveled on a little way more. So yeah, I mean, it could be, it's afternoon at least. if not later, right, depending on how far.
Right. I think he will say, "Stay, stay." Then sing, sing me to sleep. And she just looks at him. All right. You're going to have to sit, because I'm in no condition to get up at the moment. I'm not feeling well, and I need you to sit down and listen if you want a story and a song. And he will take a very ponderous seat on a big rock, probably which is about half as high as you, Jurek. Like for him, it's like a little little stool. As he sits down and listens, and I'm imagining that you're probably near or next to Ajla, nursing your bruising. Oh, God. And she's trying to tell this story about trying to figure out something complementary to giants, or at least like appeal to what she thinks this giant child might like. And it's a lot about eating, that's for one, and about adventures of of giant folk. And then she will end it as if the story is telling of a particular giant adventurer who is making his way across the land and finding these people and these battles to fight. And then she'll sing like a it's half a lullaby and half a song of this adventurer riding off into the sunset or walking off into the sunset. And as she does so, it's almost like this giant's eyes start to droop, and then his head bobs, and then slowly he slides off of the rock with an immense thump on the ground, and then you hear snoring. And he's actually fallen on the rations that you were trying to give him. So, yeah. Yeah. And Ajla will crawl over to you, Jurek. Are you okay?
Be damned, it took my head off. I've never seen one of those things up close before. Where the hell did he come from?
I mean, we're looking around, and again, these hills are strange because partially they're again deep angles, peppered with rock fields, and then they flatten out into more of these weird rock fields, but there's grass, and then there's like some scrub forest nearby. So, yeah, not sure. Ajla just looking. Go ahead.
Can you ride?
I can try. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop.
Let's just try and make it to that patch of trees over there.
Okay.
See if we can get downwind of him.
Okay.
And then we'll stop. So I feel, is this a face danger to try and just get away without him waking up and seeing us or following us or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's nothing to sneak, right?
It's it's either edge or shadow, isn't it? I think it's
Yeah,
either doing it quickly or doing it sneakily.
right.
I feel like sneakily.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to roll
Shadow.
with shadow.
Yep.
That's a 3 versus a 9 and a 2, so it's a weak hit at least.
Okay.
You succeed, but face a troublesome cost. Choose one.
Oh boy.
I think we've already narratively done this, right? We've had to leave the supplies behind.
Oh
We
man.
we lost the food that he
Yeah.
took, or is crushing. So we bumped the supply down to 3.
Okay.
But yeah, we make it to a patch of trees. Some of these scrubby trees, and then we gather ourselves. And I feel like you've pulled me out of a fire a bunch of times, and I've done nothing but make a fool of myself. Some god I am.
But we didn't have to stop, except I had to stop. I felt like I was going to fall right off the horse if I hadn't. If we were in the middle of a town right now, Yurik, I would actually beg you to leave me be because I'm not doing you any good whatsoever. I'm so sorry.
You're the only reason I'm still standing, I think. But anyway, you rest now. I'll keep watch.
Are you sure you're in condition to do so? I mean,
I'll be fine. It's nothing but bruises.
yeah, she's looking pale, and you can see that she's starting to sweat. And
Yeah, I think she's fighting through the last stages of that poison, right? Because
yeah,
yeah. So are we going to make camp at this
yeah.
point?
Let's
All
do
right,
a
rolls up.
yeah.
Plus supply. Jeez, where's our
Oof.
supply at now? What's our supply? 3?
Three.
Okay, that's all right. The worst. Oh, that's a 9 versus a 3 and a 2. It's first strong hit of the day.
Oh gosh. All
So
right.
we may each choose 2.
Okay. So
I think Yorick is definitely going to take recuperate, which gives him +1 health.
great. I'm gonna take spirit and momentum. So
This is sorry, I'm mixing up. I was looking at a thing there where it says take 1 health for you and any companions, but of course companions means like a companion asset, not you,
mm-hmm.
not Ajla.
Right.
Right, so Yorick's health goes back up to 3. So he kind of, does his best to, let these bruises take their time and heal. So that's one thing. The other one, the spirit is also down, but I feel like I am going to do the prepare. So when we break camp, we get +1 on the Undertaker journey, just because we've been rolling so badly.
I think
I need every plus I can
right.
get.
I think as you're trying to recuperate and such, I think you let Ajla get some rest, but in the middle of this, I think Vess will get up, and I think you're so bruised and so like beat that you don't really notice at first that Ajla had gotten up, and it's now Vess like kind of looking through the brush or the plants that are around, and then I think you drift off just a little bit because again you're just so battered and bruised, and you don't notice until you feel something cold on some of the more prominent bruises that are, visible. You feel like something cool and textured on your skin. And then you pop your eyes open, and then you realize that Ajla, no, actually Vess, because of the silver eyes, you realize that Vess is applying some kind of poultices to your skin. A bit of a paddle. This should help, or at least draw out some of the pooled blood underneath. You'll still feel pain, but this won't look quite so bad in the morning.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what I got myself into there, but I'm glad I'm still walking.
Absolutely. I mean, saw something much bigger than you? Is that what happened?
Aye. Giants. Never seen one that close before. It was just a boy, bigger than me.
A
I'm
child.
glad it wasn't his father.
I don't think that we had such beings in the old country. This place is strange.
To you, perhaps. I've lived here all my life. Don't know much different.
She has a collection of leaves acting as like a plate for this mixture of herbs and a little bit of water that she is pulling from, and she's kind of crushing into a paste as she applies it to your bruising. Well, hopefully this will teach you not to get so close next time. But if I recall, it was Ajla trying to get over what is affecting her still. I tried to get rid of some of it. Evidently I wasn't successful, or I didn't catch it in time. I had to fight that damned sorceress.
Well, perhaps you best rest yourself. Let the poison finish its work. If it was going to kill you, I'd have done it by now.
True, but I did get rid of a lot of it before I helped Ajla in the tower. You'll need this, and then she hands you the leaves with the mixture on it. Apply it to where it hurts, at least through morning, or at least until you get some rest.
Damn well hurts everywhere.
Would you like to help? Would you like me to help you apply it?
I think I can manage.
Still not much fun. She
I've
hands
never
you
been accused of that, no.
She hands you the leaves. Take care of yourself, Jurek. And she will proceed to go back to Ajla's spot and get some rest. Again, all the while looking at you with this grin on her face. And then she'll close her eyes and then actually go to sleep.
Okay, then. I think next morning, or through the night, Jurek he's not got a lot of rest, but he's allowed Ajla to rest. And I think given that Ajla's health is actually at full, I think narratively it makes sense that we say that the poison's burned its way through her now.
Yeah.
She's in better shape in the morning.
And then she gets up and just looks at you. Why didn't you wake me? I mean,
you were feverish. You needed the rest.
But that giant child did so much to you. And then she's like kind of reaching out and gingerly touching some of the more prominent bumps and bruises on your face.
Well, I don't think he broke anything, at least.
No, thank goodness.
I've had worse.
What did you smear on yourself? What is this? And she's like kind of picking off some of the herbs, like off of your bruising.
Your friend in the blade there seems to have some expertise in herbalism. She said this would help.
Did it?
Well, it still hurts.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as it doesn't make it hurt more, I guess. I mean, are you going to be okay? I mean, trying to ride? I mean, you didn't get any rest. I'd worry that you're not going to be, well, ready for anything else that comes up, I guess.
I'd rather ride than walk. And either way, I'd like to get out of here.
Okay. Fair enough. And hopefully we'll be able to find some place that will be able to get some more supplies, or, I mean, she looks back from where you came, and I think that giant child had crushed some of the things that we had.
Aye. Didn't turn out to be much of a distraction. Guess he'd rather fight than eat. I've known a few men like that in my time. Anyway, let's be on our way.
Okay. And then mount up best as you can. You look like you're a bit creaky. Trying to get on the horse.
I'm going to make this. I'm going to take a journey with
+1.
+1, so that's +2 total. 7 versus 5 and 7.
Okay, weak.
Weak hit.
What is that? Waypoint and mark progress, but suffer 1 supply.
-1 supply. Yeah, we've got to eat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, shit.
Let me update that progress track. So we're at 2 progress now.
So what does this waypoint look like?
Do you have something in mind, or should we make a
see.
roll on a table?
Let me see. I have something near a waypoint. But
a specific type of waypoint or anything?
As long as it's more remote than urban, let's put it that way.
Let's see. 09. A battlefield?
Interesting. Okay.
Hmm.
I have a complication for that, but I don't know if you want to get into it since you're so fucked up still.
Oh, I'm not in too bad shape.
Okay. It's a weird one, so. Do you recognize this place, Jurek?
I think given that,
You can roll for it if you want. I mean,
yeah, I
I'm
was thinking. I
okay
was
with
just
that.
thinking. Was just trying to establish the likelihood. I think it's likely, given it's on the way to
Hmm.
Whitecairn.
Okay.
97. Yes. I think I've passed through here before.
I mean, it's not recent battle, but paint the scene. What evidence do we have here of previous battles, even distantly in the past?
I think there are a few kind of hurriedly dug. There's maybe some cairns marking what may be a burial pit.
Yeah, that's what
Just
I'm.
some piled stones. Nothing fancy. Nothing.
Mm-mm, no. In fact, the ground still looks like it's. In some places, the ground looks like it's been strafed, burned, and then in other places, it looks like very verdant, very rich, almost as if blood fed the earth and nourished it. And in this place, Ajla feels like a strange doubling, as if she is present, but then also Vess is very present as well in the same place. And she feels compelled to come off of her horse as we stand there silently. Like, if you stay on your horse, that's fine, but I mean, she does come off of her horse. And she will bend to the ground and place her flat palm on it. And again, there's that strange doubling feeling increased, where Ajla is looking out over this place and seeing nothing but what we've described. And then Vess, also seeing this place, but then the ghosts of warriors past that may have clashed on this field and died and been honored by these small rock formations. And Ajla will say, without looking back at you, Jurek, battle's very close here. Almost as if it just happened, but not. I don't understand what I'm seeing.
What are you seeing?
It's not me. I mean, I see the grass, I see the furrows in the dirt. I see the rock cairns, the burial pit, but I'm also, I think Vess is showing me these people that were here, but she wasn't here. This is happening in the past that she wasn't here for. Somehow she's showing me this. I don't understand what it means. Do you go further into the field, Jurek, or do you stay on your horse?
I think maybe his curiosity gets the better of him and he goes a little further into the field.
Walking or
maybe walking, yeah. Dismount, leave the horse at the edge and just tentatively walk out to see.
You're walking into the field. Ajla's like on the periphery with her hand still on the ground, and she's taking all of this in. Again, that weird doubling feeling of seeing but not seeing what's going on. And then as you're going out onto the field, she sees almost like a ghost version of you superimposed on your form as you're walking out there. And as she calls out to you to stop, there is a flash of something in the distance and also on the field. And then you hear her cry out to you, Jurek. And when you turn around to see, Ajla's gone.
Good cliffhanger.
Told you it was fucking complicated.
It always is. Ironsworn is the complication generator.
Or I am. As a chaos agent. If we were doing roses and thorns, I'd be all about thorns about our dice rolls today.
Oh man, that was unbelievable. But I think we brought it on ourselves by like every roll was using a non-optimal stat.
Oh God! Well, even the ones that were optimal, it's like
right.
we still
it's
had
like
problems.
Couldn't even scrape out a strong hit.
Oh my God! Wait, let me look at our tarot cards again. Hold on, let me look at our
changing luck next week.
Well, no, because like next week we're playing our final gathering.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, even better. I still say it's gonna be hilarious if both of our characters are out and the other two are battling it out, and we get to watch or do the scenes. Yeah, do the scenes. It'll be fine. It's great. No problem. So, you're playing the villain. Kavya's playing the hero.
That's going to be fun, yeah.
If you think I'm a chaos agent, she's worse. She's way worse. She is way worse than I am. It's great. I love it. I have to look at my tarot cards later and see what I came up with. I forget. Yeah, but this was a fun session just because of just the havoc that was caused.
Yeah, it was. And I thought it was a really good balance today between like mechanics and narrative.
Yes.
It felt the two flowed into each other really well, and we found a good rhythm there, even though like everything was going wrong. But that's fine.
I mean, that's probably the most amount of pay the prices I saw in one session out of all of them. And we're in episode 7 today. So this was insane. I'm just like, oh, okay. And it made sense for, you know, how we ended because I was just like, okay, well, if it's gonna be this fucked up, might as well make it worse. It's great. So, um, stars for going along with it, and then just being able to call the mechanics and just have a good sense of flow about the whole thing. I mean, I really didn't have a plan aside from, okay, you're gonna do a flashback, and then we're gonna see about Bardic Passage, and then after that, it was just like, okay, call it out. What do you think is happening next?
Mm.
And then our die rolls just ended up being weird.
Yeah, it was an interesting turn of turn of fate, right? Yeah. It's funny because it's almost like Jurek is kind of a just coming across quite bumbling in a funny way because it's just he's going from one thing to another that Ajla keeps pulling him out of.
And I mean, honestly, I really don't mean for it to happen. I mean,
No,
it's
no,
just shit
it's all
keeps
good.
happening. I mean, part of it is wanting to give Yurek a chance to shine, but then something happens to Ajla, and it feels like the worst escort mission ever from an MMORPG. It's like you gotta keep this person under control, but no, they go off and do something shiny, and then you have to try to accompany them, and then it just goes all to shit. Um, really leads you into more danger. Unfortunately, that's the case, and it's horrible. I hate that Ashla's the one dragging you into this. It's just like, honestly, if they were in town, Aja would say, "Yura, go away. It's not safe for you. You're still with me." Oh my god. Holy crap. Wishes for next time?
That's a good one. That's a good question.
Well, to find out what happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I'm curious what you have in mind here.
Mm.
So, um,
And we won't find out for at least another couple of weeks.
at least
Sorry.
another 2 weeks. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So, um, I mean, obviously I can cut it out, but I mean, like, just as a discussion. So, next week we are playing at 6 p.m. for me, which is 3 p.m. for you. Is that still going to work out? Because then we
yep,
have the other two with us. So,
yeah. That's fine for me. Yeah,
okay, so then we're going to do like our final gathering. See how that's going to be messed up with well, we're going to be meeting on
yeah,
Saturday
yeah.
to just try to figure out the dice rolling thing to simulate the Jenga, and then we're going to play next Thursday. And then after that, on the 8th, I can still do early. And then after that,
You
starting on
need
the
to change the
15th,
time. Yeah.
we need to change the time. So if
Mm-hmm.
7 o'clock your time works out, then that's fine with me. I mean, like, it'll be
Yeah, I
and
think.
after I get home from work, and then it'll be just late, but I'm burning the candle at both ends because I'm nuts and I love games. So, it's fine.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I mean, um I have the start of it. I know what's going to happen, but what is actually going to happen will be determined by oh, your reaction, our die rolls, and yeah, this will be very interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to Saturday as we hash out
Yeah,
die
yeah, yeah.
rolls
Yeah. See if we
and
can
then
figure that out.
play.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll make sure I read that up beforehand, so I know what's going on there.
Yeah.
Or have
Well,
some idea at least. Yeah.
I mean, like, and or at least like try to figure out suggestions for how to handle it. Because I mean,
Yeah,
like, I really want to concentrate on doing the character keeper and making sure that I know how play will work. So this way
gotcha.
we can just
Yeah.
call scenes, do the flashbacks, figure out what we want to have as the goal in each scene with each other, um, and then see where it goes. I mean, like Ryan's game is like fascinating because I mean, like imagining to play like Highlander type people, immortals. I love it. I think that's awesome.
That's a good premise. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is. I mean, it's such a wonderful thing, and it's like there can only be one, and it doesn't necessarily have to be where it's hero and villain necessarily. I mean, maybe
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of
hero,
that's the interesting thing, right? It doesn't have to go in that direction.
a hero, a villain, an observer, and a love interest. But again, who the hell knows of whom? And
Hmm.
it would be a slice of time for these particular people as opposed to like the be all end all of, I guess, the immortals, you know?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, maybe the person who's left standing out of this particular game will maybe go on to face somebody else. Who knows? So that's another fascinating thing to think about. It's like it's a slice of this very immortal life. Oh no, you know. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Or do you imagine that it will
It's
be
multi.
like? Go ahead.
It's kind of multiple kind of events in that, isn't it? I think, or
Yes.
is it all one time?
Well, with the way, okay, first pass, the way I read it was that we are going through the flashbacks, and then there's like certain scenes drawn. Like you're doing the tower at certain aspects of this, in which case I think it's like once everybody has like a scene, then we have like like the quickening or something like that, and then whoever goes off against each other, then that's what happens. Yeah, and then
Hmm.
whomever is left standing, or yeah, whomever is defeated, have their head cut off. Then that's the reserve blocks that the winner gets to go along to the next round. So I think in general, like Ryan said, it's like it takes like 3 tower falls before the game is ended. My concern is it's like, can this be done in 3.5 hours? We'll see.
Right, right,
We'll
right.
find
Yeah,
out.
that'll be
So,
interesting to
yeah,
figure out.
yeah. I think a lot of it just has to be fleshed out
Uh-huh.
offline beforehand. Once we figure out the die rolls, once I have the character keeper like being able to delineate, this is what you're able to do here. And
Yeah.
so it's not like we're all doing scenes and then one quickening, like one like, you know, battle scene. This is more like we do some scenes, like some flashbacks, and then maybe two of us go off against each other in the quickening Tower Falls and what have you. The winner of
Hmm.
that goes on to the next match, and then, until it drills down into the last battle of our segment. So whether that means that person who wins is the be all end all, that was the only one left out of the immortals, or if it's just the winner of our particular group that goes on to face off in another story.
I
You know what I
see.
mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So it could go either way. It really could. Um, I don't care which one it is. I just think it's fascinating. It's just like, oh, we get to see each other's like how we relate to each other in history. And if you look at those flashbacks for your playbook, it's like, oh, ooh, oh, okay, I got you now. All right. Especially like if you do rank one first and then build down from there to see how far you can get into your flashback history before you face off against whomever. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit of interpretation on the game when I create the character keeper. So it's gonna be exciting, I think.
It is. Yeah, I need to read it properly to
Hmm.
really
I'm gonna be
understand what I'm getting
well.
into.
I well You're the one who wanted to go fight.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Just saying, you know.
I mean, I think I'm good. I mean, me personally, I'm just gonna skip over all the tower crap. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna base down to worry about this is the stuff we have to do when we're doing scenes with the
Yep.
flashbacks and each other. That's all
Yep.
I'm gonna concentrate on, and then y'all can hash it out for how we're gonna do die rolls. To simulate, since we're not at a live table to do Jenga and poke the bricks. That should be interesting. So, alrighty. So, we'll look forward to the dice meeting on Saturday. Look forward to our final gathering next Thursday. And then, Thursday after that is where we find out what the hell happened with Ajla.
That will be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'm going to get out of here.
Okay.
Put these misbehaving headphones away.
Well, we'll double check each other, okay? So if, like,
Yeah.
if everything says what it's supposed to say on my end, then I'm gonna say, check your stuff, please.
Yep. All know in future.
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
Alright.
I'll see you next week.
Yes. Yep. Alrighty.
Oh,
Well,
no.
Saturday.
Yeah.
See you
See you
then.
then. Okay.